On January 6, 2021, an armed mob attacked the United States Capitol in an effort to overthrow the presidential election of 2020, called to action by President Donald Trump's claims of widespread election fraud. A bipartisan committee made up of members from the U.S. House of Representatives was quickly formed to investigate the insurrection. In their final report, the committee stated that there was no conclusive evidence of the election being stolen, and that President Trump himself was well aware of this fact. As someone who generally favors right-wing policies and who initially supported President Trump, I was shocked by these findings. But what surprised me even more was a recent poll that I came across on Forbes magazine of fellow Republicans and Republican-leaning independents. According to the survey, of the 63% of participants who still believed that the election was illegitimate, nearly half of them said that their belief was based on nothing but suspicion. Now, you may be feeling slightly uncomfortable right now because I brought up something political, but I'm not trying to take a stance on what actually happened that day, nor on which side is right or wrong. But I believe these findings represent a much larger problem that is frankly plaguing our society today. A stubborn unwillingness to accept and even consider information that goes against our beliefs. In such a dogmatic and divisive society, we need to be willing to have an open mind. I, like you, have my own opinions, and I have had to change those opinions from time to time. So today, I want to discuss why it's so difficult to be open-minded, why it's essential that we are, and what that might look like. Adopting a new way of thinking can feel impossible at times. Dr. Clifford Lazarus, a licensed clinical and health psychologist, addressed this issue in an online article titled, "Why Many People Stubbornly Refuse to Change Their Minds." According to Dr. Lazarus, cognitive dissonance may be the problem, which he defined as mental discomfort that is triggered by a situation in which a person's belief clashes with new evidence introduced to that person. When this happens, the individual can either 1, accept the new information and adjust their beliefs, or 2, reject the information and justify their old beliefs. Unfortunately, the second option is chosen far too often. While engaging in this mental discomfort can certainly be challenging, it should not deter you from having an open mind. Think about what this world would be like if no one ever changed their mind. We would still believe that bad air causes the plague, that life generates spontaneously from non-living matter, and that the sun revolves around the earth. Being open-minded allows us to learn more about the world around us, to find new solutions to problems, and to better understand other points of view. Now, I recently had an experience where I changed my mind on a controversial topic. To the left in this picture is my husband, Max, and he is an avid hunter. When I first met Max, I honestly thought that shooting animals for fun was pretty harsh and inhumane. But I saw how passionate he was about hunting, and I wanted to understand his perspective better. After talking to him about it and doing some of my own research, I discovered ethical and conservational benefits of hunting that I was not aware of before. I can now say that I do support hunting when it is done correctly, and I'm so glad that I was willing to listen. So, what do you think about topics like evolution, climate change, abortion, homosexuality? When was the last time that you looked at both sides of these issues? I implore you to decide today that you will have an open mind. Seek out those whose perspectives differ from yours and ask them to explain their perspective. Be willing to accept that you may not always have all of the facts. And please, don't get all of your information from intolerant influencers on social media. Being open-minded does not mean that we have to agree on everything, but it does mean that we are willing to listen and respond with love. As George Bernard Shaw once said, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Thank you.